Hello everyone, welcome back to 100 Days of Coding with Derrick-Redeemer. This is the 18th of our coding journey. In the 17th, we learned how to make our forms more user-friendly by adding labels and buttons. So labels and what buttons? This one's here, then this buttons here. So we added what? The submit button. The submit button, we learned how the submit button works together with the action attribute, together with what the action. Today we are going to learn two new form elements that allow users to make selections. These elements are radio buttons and then checkboxes. These elements are used in almost every registration form, survey, quiz, and online applications. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain what radio buttons are, create radio buttons using type equal to radio, explain what checkboxes are, create checkboxes using type equal to checkbox, understand the difference between radio buttons and checkboxes. Some people think they are the same, but it's not the same. They are not the same. Build a form containing both radio buttons and checkboxes. Before we start, think about creating a social media account. Sometimes the websites ask about gender, that's male and female, or prefer not to say. Notice that you can only choose one option there. Now think about choosing your hobbies, where you get football, music, reading, coding. This time you can choose more than one option. Your hobbies, you can choose more than one option. These are exactly what we will learn today. What is a radio button? When we talk about a radio button, it is just a button that allows a user to choose only one option from a group of options. Example, if you're asked, what is your gender? Will you say she-male? No, you will not say she-male. You can only choose either male or female, or you choose prefer not to say. You should only select one answer. And let's start by creating a radio button. First, we need to know the syntax for radio button. The syntax for a radio button. For the radio button here, the syntax is what? So input equal to input type equal to then what? Radio. Then you close it with what? Greater than sign. Yeah. All right. So here, let's try to open our web browser. Here. Now you can see this is here, this particular one here. Can you see this one here? This particular, the one below the radio, the submit button. Let's go back to our website and our code editor to create something here. So here, I'm going to put the radio button in the form. Or let's try something here. So the radio button here. So what do we need first? We need label. So you label the name. So let's say label. Let me clear this one from here. Or let me type it here. So label. Let's say male. Then what? The input type. The input type is what? Radio. Then you come back. Then BR. Let's say BR. So I want to use line break. So BR. So the line break. Then another label again. So another label. That label. Let's name that label. Let's say a female. Let's name it that before we choose the prefer not to say. So label. What's the label? That's a female. Then you close the label tag. Then the next one is what? The next one is the input type. The input type, that's what? Radio. This particular one here. Radio. Now if I open with my live server, so you can see that I have what? Two things here. I can choose only this one. I cannot choose, so I'll choose this or this. All right. So here, when you open the page, you open the live server, you open the web browser, you will see two circular options. You see what? Two circular options like this. So circular options. Sorry. This one here. We have this and what? This one. We have for male and what? Female. Okay. Now there is a problem. There's a problem here. How can we fix that? All right. If you click male, then click female, you will notice both become what? Selected. So you will notice that both become what? Selected. If I click here, this here, and this one, you notice that both has been what? Selected. That's the problems we have here. So how can we fix that? That isn't what we want, right? But we want users to choose only one option. That's why there is something called name attribute. Name what? Attribute. So here, to group radio buttons together, we use the name attribute. So here, this one here, the input type, this particular one here, I'll not put the less than sign, the greater than sign first. So let's say name, I'll use what? Name attribute is equal to. So name attribute is equal to. So gender. We know that's what gender. All right. Then we come here to, then we do the same thing. Name is equal to. So name is equal to what? Gender. Name is equal to what? Gender. Here. All right. Because both radio buttons have name is equal to gender, the browser understands that they belong to the same group. Now let's open the web browser and see. So I'm going to open the web browser and choose male. So I'm choosing male. Then here. Sorry, there is a problem here. Let me refresh. So here, and I'll choose here again. Now you can see. So anytime you are done with your coding and it is not showing, you make sure you refresh the web browser. So if I choose male, the thing will move from female to male. The same applies to if I choose female, it will move from male to female. All right. Why is the name attribute important? Why is it important? Why do we introduce it? Without the same name, radio buttons behave independently. With the same name, they work as one group. Always remember that. Same name, one choice. Same name, one choice. So here I use what? Gender. If here I should have used, let's say, different name, it will know the two will select. Or when I said I didn't put what name equal to gender, the two were what? Selected. Here. All right. Now let's look at, so let me put this one in the form. I'm going to put this one in the form. Sorry. All right. So here, let me introduce my line break BR. All right. So let me place this one before the radio. Sorry, the submit button. This one before the submit button. So I'm going to place it before the submit button. So this particular one here. So this. All right. So perfect. So let's open our web browser to see. Now you can see here. You can see it is perfect now. So now let's go to checkbox. What's a checkbox? A checkbox allows users to choose one or more options. So instead of choosing only one option, this checkbox allows the user to choose more than one options or one or more options. Unlike radio buttons, checkboxes allow multiple selections. So select. So for example, let's say you are selecting our hobbies, where we say football, reading, music, movies, coding. You can choose 1, 2, 3, or even all of them. All of them. Now let's start by creating a checkbox syntax. A checkbox syntax here, instead of bringing the radio button here, so sorry, the radio attribute, you are going to bring what? You are going to bring a checkbox here. So here, so this is what? So let me type it here rather. So input type. So input type equal to what? Checkbox. Equal to what? Checkbox. So checkbox. Then you close it using what? Greater than sign. Here, that's what a checkbox what attribute. Now let's create some small example here. Let's create some small example here. We are going to create what? Our label. So our label, the label is what? Let's say football. So label, that's what? Label is equal to what? Football. So label, sorry, did I say is equal to? So label football. Here, then we select what? The input type. That's what? A checkbox. So a checkbox. Hope you can see below here. All right. Then we create. Let's say we want to create another one again. So the line break BR. Then sorry, another one. So another one. Let's say music. So label. So let's say that label is what? Music. That label is what? Music. So in that label, you're going to create what? Input type. The input type is what? The input type is what? Checkbox. So the input type. So type equal to what? Checkbox. So checkbox. Then you close it using what? The greater than sign. Here, the greater than sign. Let's create another one here. So my BR. Let's create another one. That's what? Label. Let's say coding. So label. I'm going to label that one. Let's say coding. Anyone that you want to choose. So there, then the input type. So the input type, that's what? A checkbox. We are talking about checkbox. So equal to. All right. Then we introduce our BR. So that's the this one. The button will be what? Will be separate. So now users can tick one. Users can tick as many options as they like. So for example, let's say this one. All right. So now you can see here. You can see. So I have what? My radio button. If I choose here, it will be selected. So here, this one. This is what the checkbox that we did. So checkbox. I can click here, click here. Anyone that you want. And here. All right. So now let's go to radio button versus checkbox. Radio buttons. So when the radio buttons will choose only one option, whilst checkboxes choose more than one option or one or many options. So a simple way to remember this is what? Radio is equal to one option, whilst a checkbox is equal to what? Many option. Okay. All right. So this one I'm going to give you. Let's build this thing from scratch. So I'm not going to. So here I want to label my this thing. My options. So here my options here I want to label them. So let's say I will use H3, the H3 heading. The H3 headings, let's say gender. So gender. Sorry, yeah. Let me use capital letter. Gender. Then where the checkboxes are. Where the checkboxes are, let's name that one with hobbies. So checkboxes. Where the checkboxes start. So this one here. So what? H1. So here too, I'm going to use what? My H3 now. My H3. Let's say hobbies. So hobbies. Or let me use capital letters. Hobbies. All right. So if you open the web browser, that's what will come. So now you can see I've used what? Gender. So this is what? Gender option, and this is what? Hobbies or option as well. So let me make the code clear for us to see. Let me put what? Spaces inside. All right. So imagine you are asked, what is your favorite programming language? Where you say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you should choose only one. That is what? Radio button. Now imagine you are asked again, which programming language do you know? I know HTML is not a programming language. In the first video, I explained HTML to you. Then we have which programming languages do you know? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, or Python, you can select all of them. That is what a checkbox. Now let's look at some common mistakes we make. So mistake one, giving radio buttons different names. We sometimes give what radio buttons what different names. If every radio button has a different name, users can select all of them. They can select all of them. Always use the same name for radio buttons in the same group. Mistake 2, thinking radio buttons and checkboxes are the same. They are not the same. Remember, radio button is what one choice. Checkbox is what multiple choices. Mistake 3, you sometimes forget what the labels. Always add labels so users know what each option means. Now let me give you some mini challenge. Create a registration form containing gender, that's male, female, or prefer not to say, using radio buttons. Then your hobbies. So hobbies, football, reading, music, coding, using checkboxes. You can use anyone that you want. Test it in your web browser and post the results in the comment section, or your snippets in the comment section as well. Excellent work. Today you learn how to allow users to make selections using radio buttons and checkboxes. Radio buttons are used when users should select only one option, while checkboxes allow users to select multiple options. These elements are widely used in registration forms, surveys, quizzes, and online applications. In day 19, we will learn how to create drop-down menus using the select and option tags, giving users another way to choose from a list of options. Thank you for joining the 18 of 100 days of coding with Derrick-Redeemer. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep coding. See you in the 19. Happy coding.